Appreciate them. Can I get that motion?
So moved.
Second.
And seconded. Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so that passes. We'll now have the Pledge of Allegiance. Councilwoman Carver, would you lead us there? And then we'll have a prayer. Councilman Savage, would you lead us with that?
Sure.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our Father in heaven, we are truly grateful to be gathered together today. Grateful for the opportunity we have to live in this beautiful city. We're grateful for the weather we've been having, and please bless all those that are struggling or suffering, that if it be within our power, that we can help them. We are grateful for thy spirit and thy guidance. Bless us with wisdom as we discuss the issues of the city. Help us to know the way that will benefit the citizens that live therein. We are truly grateful for a Savior and for all the things that we've been blessed with. And this we pray in Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Okay, with our revised agenda, I'm going to bring up Chief Byington. We would like to recognize our battalion chiefs who both have obtained the Utah State Managing Fire Officer designation. We have more people in our department that have been recognized by the state than anywhere else I've heard of, at least. It may be somewhere else that I've not heard of, but it is amazing. And it is a credit to the quality of people that we have here. And I'm just so thrilled that we can recognize two more. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you for letting me have a little bit of time this evening. So I'll ask Battalion Chief Corey Bybee and Ryan Eckhart to come on up. As you mentioned, they've both been awarded the Utah Managing Fire Officer designation as outlined by the International Association of Fire Chiefs and adopted by the Utah Commission on Fire Officer Designation. Both of these individuals have combined hundreds of hours of training, education, and experience to meet the requirements for this designation. Their hard work and commitment to this process shows their dedication to not only the Utah State Fire Service, but to Syracuse City and our department as well. To date, there have been 15 Managing Fire Officer designations awarded in the state of Utah. 5 of those 15 are from our department. So absolutely amazing. And it's not an easy achievement. So I've got a couple of plaques here, and then they have some pins that they get with these. So if you'll please join me in congratulating both of these gentlemen on this achievement, that'd be wonderful. Yeah, there you go. Look at that. Yeah. Yeah. Grab a picture. I was gonna say, oh, there's. Grab a couple pictures really quick and then you guys can move on. Thank you.
Thank you. We're so proud of you.
Congratulations.
Okay. As you can see, that was important since we already lost a couple of our firefighters.
And there go the rest of them.
There are lots of beeping.
All the beeping.
Okay, so we appreciate you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. Now we're going to move on to item number 2 on our published agenda, public comment. This is an opportunity for you to address council, bring to our attention your feelings on one of the issues that might be discussed later today, or an issue that we may not have on our agenda that we could put on a future agenda. Let me emphasize, this is not a question and answer period. Due to the way that the Utah has formatted their open and public meetings law, we cannot answer your questions during this time for anything that's not on the agenda. So that's just not an option. But you do have up to 3 minutes if you'd like to bring something to our attention to make a comment. We will cut you off because we do have to go on with our meeting, but up to 3 minutes on any subject you'd like to bring to our attention? Is there anyone interested in making a public comment? Come forward. I need you to, everyone who comes forward, I need you to state your name and address so we know where you're from.
Dawn Fitzpatrick, 4215 West, 1050 South, and West Point. I'm just a block from Syracuse
Okay.
boundaries. I'm here to talk about agenda item number 6, and I'll speak fast so I can use up my 3 minutes. Let me just introduce myself. I've been in West Point for a year. I spent time as 9 years as planning commissioner in the city of Layton, 3 years as the chair, and a partial term on the city council. I've watched several projects very similar to this one that's being proposed in Syracuse in Layton, and I watched it go from raw ground to actually living in one of the units. I've since moved to another Ovation subdivision out in West Point, but believe me, I spend plenty of money here in Syracuse. This property that's being proposed for this development is an odd shape, kind of a leftover piece of property now that the near highway is in. Ovation does a good job with these types of properties. Hyde Park in Kaysville and Case Creek Villas in West Layton are 2 of those identical types of properties. Additionally, there's more need for senior housing as our population ages. Also, that these homes provide something of value. Not only are they single level for those of us that have a harder time, but we have guaranteed lawn care, guaranteed maintenance of the attached units. There are amenities provided for us. I've watched townhomes be approved and go up that have basically no parking in their driveways or very little even on the street. These subdivisions have an adequate sized driveway and do much better than the townhomes that most cities have approved. You can even park a truck in these driveways. Also, it'll be governed by an HOA, which requires it under federal law that 80% of the homeowners be 55 and plus. These properties also, in my personal opinion, would be fine for people who have smaller families, maybe a couple that's working that are under 55. I would really suggest that you consider allowing this subdivision to be built in your city. I don't think you'll find that there's a problem. I think you'll find that it's actually a benefit to your community. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Eric Craythorne, 710 North, 2400 West in West Point. Just wanted to briefly get up and introduce myself for item number 5. That particular property, we're coming for general plan amendment, basically just changing the orientation of where the general plan lays. It was going to face to the north. After working with his property for almost 2 years and talking with some commercial end users, we felt like facing that, having that face to the east would be more appropriate. And so if the council or the mayor has any questions, we do have some individuals here that can answer those during the regular meeting.
Anyone else?
Hello, I'm Stephanie Johnson, 2339 West, 1825 South in Syracuse. I am here to just kind of express my my desire or approval. I don't know how to say it. I'm nervous, you guys. I've never done this before. So please forgive me and please forgive my rambling. I am a real estate agent that works primarily with the senior living, the senior community. And I have had clients build with Ovation Homes, and I have watched how it's changed their lives and it's changed their way to be able to enjoy growing old at home. They have no stairs. They have beautiful properties. They have a little bit of yard to be able to play with. And once people are unable to walk up those stairs that they've lived in for 20, 30, 40 years, these homes make such a difference, and I've seen that firsthand. I just want to let you know, as a Syracuse citizen, how much I do believe this would benefit the aging population of our community, to be able to let them stay here and to stay in a community that they love, There's not very many places for them to go. And I do think that this would be a benefit to our city.
Hi, Lisa Bartholomew, 1517 West, 2500 South. I also am in favor of this proposed ordinance amendment because I'm one of that aging population that I've been in my home for 20 years now, and I am getting older and my knees are not willing to go up the stairs like they used to. I'm looking for a place and I love Syracuse and I would love to stay here, but the choices here are not very good. So I would be totally in favor of having a active adult community here in Syracuse that would meet my needs. And, the walking paths and the exercise things, those are all things that I would enjoy. I love being outdoors and those things are good for Syracuse. Thanks.
Anyone else?
Melissa Casey, 1191 South, 1925 West here in Syracuse. Just also would like to show my support for addendum item number 6. I've lived in my home for 18 years, and like the last person stated, now that I have advanced osteoarthritis, I have half of my meniscus is gone. I will not be able to stay in my residence for the rest of my life because of the stairs. And about to pay off my mortgage in 6 years. At this stage of my life, cannot take on much more. So I'll be needing to find a home that I could get that has within my equity level right now, rather than taking on a new mortgage. So this type of property is ideal to let us stay in our community where we shop and we eat, we go to the local restaurants. We were just talking about going to Hug House tonight, but we love it here. We love the pumpkin walk, the Heritage Days. We've been here for a very long time and would like to stay. And this type of property is what we could move into. Even though we're not quite at that age yet, I will be 50 next year. So it's time to start thinking about what I need as opposed to maybe what I have. So thank you.
Hi, I'm Darren Isaac, 822 West, 3150 South, Syracuse, 25 years now. So I'm just here to let you know we're here today to answer any questions on the commercial rezone. The meeting last week or 2 weeks ago helped kind of give some insight into the growth of the commercial and how we're trying to do that as well, and the number of homes and things like that coming to the community. And so I shared that with some of the grocery stores I had been working with in the past, including the Smiths, the big one. And Kent's Market had some really good feedback from them that they responded to some emails and to the current layout that we've done, where we stayed with the 12-acre design, which I think the master plan called for 12 acres in the future, and redesign it to stay that 12 acres, just more of a squared property that actually allows it to go either direction at the which could be at the mercy of a grocery store and the different developments that come in there. So that was some good feedback that came from that meeting last time. I thought we'd let you know that. And then also that we're excited to move forward with this. So if there's any questions for him today, then we got some work done this last 2 weeks since that meeting. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
Hi, Wendy Bayshore, 2053 West, 1100 South in Syracuse. I've lived here for maybe 25 years. My husband and I have a big backyard. We have stairs. I recently fell down the stairs. My husband has in the past. He's had a stroke, bad back, bad knees. So we'd be very interested in these homes. I've heard they're great places to live. So I just wanted to Tell you, I think this was a great idea. Thank you.
Hello, I've been here before. I won't stand too close to the microphone because it screams at you. I'm Laurie Myers. I'm at 1409 South 4000 West in Syracuse. I am just speaking today again on the agenda item number 6. I've got parents that live in Clearfield, have been there for 50 years. My father has had a stroke. He can't go up and down the stairs anymore. Well, he does go up and down the stairs. He goes down on his butt and he uses all 4 his hands and his feet to come back up. Pretty dangerous. He's probably not going to be here for a lot longer. And I need somewhere for my mom to go. I'd like to bring her to Syracuse because it's close to me and I can be there. Financially, she's not in a really good position to pay $650,000 to $850,000 home for a single family home. And so the active adult attached is a great thing for her to be able to have a home that's, 1,1800 square feet. She doesn't have to do any maintenance. She doesn't have to do other than inside, but no land, no snow plow, or anything like that. And so I just wanted to show my support for this, for her and for me and my aging too, because I'm getting there as well. So thank you.
Hello, my name's Marilee Guinan. I live at 4511 West, 50 South in West Point. And the reason I'm here, I'm in strong support of item number 6. I am a mother, a grandmother, a daughter of aging parents. I'm also in the real estate industry, so I deal with clients of all ages, all walks of life. The majority of my clients lately have been seniors, and I am a senior citizen. I'm 59, so I know what it's like to get older and need a place that's one level. I did just purchase a home that's one level home. And I know this might sound extreme, but I think this being approved and this housing subdivision being approved could be a matter of life and death. Let me explain. I've had within the last 2 years, personal friends that have fallen down the stairs and died because of their falls. These were elderly people that fell, hit their head, had aneurysms, and died. So I don't take this lightly. Having accessibility, having a safe environment for our seniors is really, really important, and it's important to me. And I'm going to just ask some rhetorical questions, so I'm not asking questions. But what do I tell my clients, my aging clients, when they want to live in Syracuse and there's nothing available for them in an active community? What do I tell them? What do I tell my aging parents when they want to live close to their daughter and their grandkids and they can't find a place that's an active adult? I just want you to think about those questions and join with me in supporting Ovation Homes in this community. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Shane Croton, 2353 South, 3585 West. I don't really want to take a whole lot of time because I tried to email everybody some of my thoughts. So hopefully you got those emails, but it's in regards to items 5, 6, and 7. So hope it is useful for you in your decisions. Thanks.
My name is Brad Frost, 534 Anita Drive. And I own Sadie's Glen Ovation Homes. We're presenting. We'll be grateful if you have any questions, answer those. But as you can tell, this affects a lot of we want to partner with you on helping our seniors and our aging community. And we've been a part of a lot of cities and want to be a part of yours as we have in the past with Trailside. So we'd look forward to any discussion that you may have if you have questions. So thank you.
Okay, seeing no more questions or comments, I'm going to cut off the public part. Cassie, we had 2 public comments emailed in. Would you read those into the record?
Yes. Okay, this first emailer says, my name is Lance Jensen, and my wife and I have been proud citizens of Syracuse since 2008. I write in support of the 55-plus single-level living project I believe is proposed to be called Sadie's Glen, located off 2700 South. I will be 50 years old this year, and my wife and I have begun discussions on what our future housing needs are going to be and where we want to retire. We have deep roots in Syracuse. Both our grandparents were multi-generational farmers not far from where we live now, and we would like to stay in Syracuse. This proposed project appears to check all the boxes for us. Many people like ourselves are looking for this type of housing product. It's affordable, the amenities, pickleball courts, etc., are fantastic, and who wants to do yard work? Also, this medium density, 1-level style home appeals to us more than a townhome project. I have been in the title insurance business for 30 plus years, and I've been involved in countless developments across the state of Utah, and I'm very familiar with these types of projects. They are in high demand and provide exceptional value to both the homeowner and the city in which they are located. I have visited similar projects in both Layton and Kaysville, and they are great places to live, and the residents love them. I would think that Syracuse City would be chomping at the bit to approve such a project, especially given its proximity to the West Davis corridor and its appeal to the 55-plus demographic. Syracuse City really needs a project like this. As I'm writing to approve the active adult community of Sadie's Glen. This affordable community will be a well-received option for aging and active adults. I have had multiple closings with Ovation Homes and currently live adjacent to one of these communities. I also helped a client purchase a home in the attached version of these homes in Case Creek, just west of the Layton Parkway. After being diagnosed with a major health issue, it became urgent for my clients to move away from too many stairs to a low-step, low-entry, single-level, and affordable home. All my clients, without exception, have been very happy with the quality, layout, and price of their home as they approach the obvious income reduction associated with residents of this age. They want and deserve to live in beautiful homes, communities, and finishes that give them independence while also giving them the confidence to move freely about a single-level home that does not threaten their finances or way of lifestyle. These communities are well cared for, they are clean and tidy, and the finishes of these fine homes, the warranty extended, and the treatment of the staff from the model home agents to the build to receiving their keys is a wonderful experience. I've experienced the quality of Ovation Homes, their value increases. The homes are mostly pre-sold due to their popularity. The aging yet still active population loves the options and affordability of Ovation Homes. The communities are a welcome boon to the local economy. They add, not detract, to the city and county goals. Please approve. Jeff Boyson, Pinpoint Real Estate.
Okay, thank you. I'll now close public comment altogether. Item number 3, we have minutes from 4 meetings or 2 meetings to approve. June 11th, the 2024 business meeting, also the special redevelopment meeting, and also the municipal building authority meeting. We also have June 25th, the work session. Are there any amendments that anyone needs to make to those minutes? Otherwise, I'll take a motion.
I motion that we approve the minutes as outlined.
Second.
Motion and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion passes unanimously. We're now on to item number 5. Proposed ordinance 2024-15, amending the Syracuse general plan map for property located approximately 2000 west and 2700 south, adjusting the boundary of the medium density residential and commercial land use designations. Noah, brief us on anything that's changed since our work session.
Sure. Good evening. The only thing that's really changed is the boundary. So if you remember last time, they were proposing to go from 12 to 8. Now they're proposing to just stay at 12, but the boundary has changed a little bit.
Okay. Council, any discussion on this item?
Well, the only issue is the boundary itself. We're not approving anything other than an adjustment to the boundary. Is that right?
That's right. Yep. So this does not entitle them to build townhomes. They would have to go through a rezone process, which would be the next step.
Okay, so originally I did not think this is a very good fit. However, my opinion of this is based solely on my opinion of the next item also. Because I feel like in order to have something like that, we also need in that location something like this that's readily accessible for the people in that neighborhood. And I feel like that's something we need. So then we definitely need this.
Any other thoughts?
I guess my thought, I mean, I definitely don't want to reduce any of our commercial. I think Syracuse is going to need commercial so that we're not in a deficit each year. We're going to need that sales tax revenue. My biggest concern is that we've got so much on the books right now as far as PRD and townhome developments that it makes me a little bit lackluster when it comes to being excited about additional PRD developments tied to this.
Well, we would
This
have to
isn't that,
approve
is
those.
it? Sorry, whoever I stepped on.
Go ahead, Brett.
I was just saying, this isn't that. All this is adjusting the orientation of the commercial and potentially making it more appealing to a commercial development. Isn't that right?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Mhm.
This
I
is
see.
also for the purpose of saying that they want PRD.
Because it's tied to the next item.
Yeah, PRD is tied in, if you scroll down in the packet, it shows proposed zoning map, general commercial and PRD. If it were just a commercial, I'd be okay with it. But the fact that it's PRD is tied to it.
Yeah, but like Noah said, we don't have to approve more townhomes. Like it's not.
Yeah, just to be clear, there's two separate applications we'd be talking about. Right tonight, the only application we have before us is the general plan amendment. But we know what the next step is. So that would be, if they're successful tonight, we know that they would apply for that PRD coming up.
So one of my concerns is that we have talked for several months now about the need to update our master plan and make some adjustments throughout based on changing structure of our traffic, our highway, all of those aspects. And the reason we haven't been able to do that is because, quite frankly, all the people involved have been overwhelmed with some of the other things we've got going on right now, which do take priority, which is commercial development. So I feel like the timing is not good to start making residential changes before we have the chance to take all that in. And I've also been very clear with our public that, in my opinion, one of the biggest problems that we face as a city is we have been the highest growing city for 7 of the last 8 years. And the taxes come at a lag to the needs that are developed in the city. So when we have a city who is already starting to rage over the idea that we will have a tax increase, it is because we are the fastest growing city in Davis County and have been for 7 of the last 8 years and first or second for well over a decade. You cannot keep that up. It's not all on us alone to develop the entire rest of the population's needs. We're in a day and age when you can hardly tell where city borders are anymore because everything's developed. So to say that Syracuse has a need that has to be filled only in Syracuse is putting all of that burden only on those who live in Syracuse. And that's not reasonable.
I don't think anybody's saying it's a need that needs to be filled only in Syracuse. We've just been, as a council, this one, the former one and the previous one, when developers buy land, they're buying land because they know that they can put in an application and most of them were being approved. So that's why the land has been continued to be purchased by developers because they would like to continue to develop it. And we have continued to say yes. So it's not on anybody else's responsibility. These were our decisions. We made these. So accountability is what it is. And No, we don't have to. I've said this from the beginning. If we see the build out of this city in any of our lifetimes, that will be very, very unfortunate because this city literally has forever to go. But that responsibility comes back to us in the former us's in these chairs. The yeses just kept coming. So the developers just kept buying. And then we just kept saying yes. So now this is that point where we are identifying that and it's our responsibility.
We have to at some point say no.
Help me understand how this is anything other than just a boundary line adjustment. The percentages are staying the same. This is simply the orientation of the commercial. Where am I wrong?
I don't think you're wrong. I think that's correct of what this is. That's an accurate description.
Well, there is every indication that the purpose is for another application to change the zoning.
So we're taking a position, a presumptive position, that this isn't proper because another application may be forthcoming.
Well, if we know it's already in, so if you know, if you're not going to approve that one, it's pointless to approve the step one and then say, oh, but we never wanted to go to step two. So if we see step 1 and 2 in front of us, we have to take 1 before 2. If you have no intention of taking step 2, then you have to consider that at step 1.
I mean, I think I would echo the mayor's concern that I think a lot of us have talked about wanting to re-examine the general plan. And I think that needs to be done before we can, so we know how these different areas are going to look or how we want the city to look before we start making these types of decisions.
I agree with that.
How do you feel, Jordan? Tell us your thoughts.
Exciting conversation. I actually am along the lines that I have zero problem with the commercial, but the fact that it's PRD is inextricably tied to it. And I am a big no on this PRD. So I'm not seeing a compelling reason to go forward if it's just going to exercise the staff. Or at least I plan on, if the PRD is submitted, I probably would not vote in favor of it. So in respect to the staff's time, I don't think I would vote for this right now.
I understand your point on that and the point that the mayor made that the commercial of it is a beautiful.
I agree.
It's fantastic.
If it were just the
If it
commercial,
were the commercial, if you could fill that whole thing with commercial, that's a yes from me, sir.
yes from me.
But we've got too many townhouses. We've got too many. There's so many and they're overpriced. They're everywhere and citizens don't want them. They don't want them. But I love the commercial.
Is anyone ready to make a motion on this? I can't make the motion.
No,
You can't vote. You remind us of that all the time.
I'll make a motion. I move that we reject proposed ordinance 2024-15, amending the Syracuse general plan map for the property located approximately 2000 west, 2700 south, adjusting the boundaries of the medium density residential and commercial land use designations.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nay.
Okay,
I'm going to abstain from this vote because
okay. Well, that motion passes. So that is a failed change. Now, moving on to item number 6. Proposed ordinance 2024-17, amending the Syracuse City zoning map for property located approximately 2425 west and 2700 south from A1 to R3 planned residential community. Noah, update us on what's changed.
There have been no changes since the last time you saw this. The plans are still exactly the same.
Okay. Comments from the council?
so I'm going to defend this project again as much as I can because And here's a little personal experience that happened to me. Y'all, I am only 40. Okay. I'm a military veteran and cowgirl and ranch hand, and I work in construction from time to time. Yesterday morning, I stepped off my feed trailer and my foot went down and my knee went left. Okay. It wasn't fun. My meniscus is questionable at the moment, and my knee was the size of a softball. There are 27 steps in my house. Ask me how my night went.
Hey, Jen, how'd your night go?
It was horrible. It was horrible. I could not imagine. Thank you for the lead in, PS. I could not imagine feeling like that every single day and having to climb stairs and not being able to find housing anywhere. Because this is Utah. Everything's double level, split level, different leveled, and not being able to find housing to accommodate me in my physical needs. And I'm going to have them. I have no doubt at this point. So this is something I just feel so necessary, and we've accommodated the townhomes and we've accommodated all things. And like I just went on a rant about a second ago, this is something that actually serves a purpose that we identify as a very big coming problem, and we know it. No, it's not our responsibility to fix all the housing situations for the entirety of Utah. I understand that, but these are our people, and they are our people standing here in front of us telling us they need this. And that's my opinion.
Jen?
You're welcome.
I'm actually I've been going back and forth on this one because I just barely got done saying I am done with PRDs and apartments and everything else because there is too much. But I do feel like in this specific area, we kind of have this interesting dynamic of we've only had 4 55 plus homes go on sale in the last year. So if you're 55 and older and looking for this type of community, you need to look outside of Syracuse, which is also interesting because usually these are the people that are just getting done. Their kids are moving out, and for the first time in their life, they might actually have a little bit of disposable income. And then we send them away. So so that's one where I just don't know about. And then the other critique I've had is on this is the odd shape. If you look at it, it's kind of an L. So I decided to go in and look at what each of those little developments are that this wraps around. And they're 2 large, we'll call them businesses. So it's not like we're wrapping around single family homes. We're wrapping around some businesses that you couldn't square this off even if you wanted to. And this just allows us to use the space around those businesses in a way that benefits the community and keeps the people that have lived here all their life staying here. So like I said, I've gone back and forth, and just all of the pros started adding up. I do want to make in the motion that I'll make in a minute, I am going to make some adjustments though.
Okay, let's give everybody a chance to talk before you make a motion.
I'm not making a motion yet. I'm just telling you so you can include it in the discussion, if you will. One of the things we identified as an issue in this development was parking.
Yep.
So I would recommend that in the motion we discuss the visitor stalls. In talking with the developer, they are willing to add in 8 visitor stalls. And again, if we need a table to add these in, but I think we can include it in the motion. Add in 8 additional visitor stalls. Add in tables and chairs and pavilions. And they mentioned earlier today they'd be willing to move from 121 attached to 121 homes to 117. What this does is they're actually giving up a block of the attached homes and making them detached, and that would increase the number of detached to 21. So this would give a little bit nicer product to the community while still maintaining the amenities that are being provided, which I think this works.
So I just have to correct one thing, and I apologize because I'm not, but just the other day, I decided to look at the entitlements that we have in the city already. So when you say there's nothing of this nature in the city.
Oh, if I said that, I misspoke.
There are 543 units entitled at this point in time.
About 4 were sold is what he said.
They're not necessarily 55 and older, but of the same type of house plan. There are 543 currently entitled or in construction that are not yet on the market. So
Out of the 10,000 homes in Syracuse?
Right?
this is of the ones yet to be built.
Oh, okay.
This is nothing about the 10,000 that are already here. So this is of the 800 and some odd that we have already entitled on the books that are coming. So
But that's,
I don't
those are,
think you can
those are,
say that there's nothing available.
but those aren't, like 55 and older, correct? Not all of them?
They're not.
Okay, so that being said,
You're saying they
they
are
are,
single family.
They're single
That-
okay,
family,
so now,
they're
that being
one-
said, they are now in a bidding competition for those houses with everybody.
Okay, so I'll interject my thoughts since I have.
Go ahead.
Jen.
By all means.
So one of my concerns is the timing, I think, of this project, as we've discussed before. And we've all, and some of us have said, you know, we've had councils or whoever that have been yes people, yes, yes, yes. And so we get developers that are coming in and wanting to build, and we've got a lot in our queue. If we continue on this trajectory, we're going to continue to dig a bigger and bigger deficit hole, just like all of our budget discussions this year, and we're talking about a tax increase. These, you know, these people of retirement age, we're going to continue to have to increase their property taxes every year because we keep building these, we keep building these higher or medium density PRD developments. So I think a retirement villa is great. I think it's great. I'm not a fan of PRD. They previously had an R3 designation. You can make, I think, affordable small patio homes that are detached, not quite as dense. But anyway, I think the timing might not be right. We've got to give our commercial development a chance to continue and to thrive, to lessen the tax burden on all of the other citizens that are here in the city, so that every year we're not coming back to the tax table and saying we need more money from everybody. And we're doing it every year.
Yep.
Every year we are coming back and saying we need more money from our citizens.
Okay, but.
And hold on, I
Okay,
didn't
okay,
interrupt
go
you.
ahead,
I'm not
go ahead.
done. And we are continually doing that because we're continually approving these higher density developments that aren't bringing in the necessary property tax revenue to support the population. So we've got, timing is everything in these things. And I think we need to give, like I said, our commercial a chance to catch up.
I agree with that. I want to say, we have just under 800 housing units that haven't been built yet in Syracuse. There's going to be opportunity to buy a house in Syracuse. There are all kinds of houses that are going to be built in Syracuse. Housing is coming, and I think it's more responsible to slow down and let those houses get built. We're not keeping up with our infrastructure. We have a poor balance between housing and commercial in Syracuse. Our taxes are being raised. We need to slow down and take our time. And it's not a race, Jen, just like what you said. It's just bad timing. I wasn't on the Syracuse Council the last 4 years. It's been a fast build out in the past 4 years, and we can't keep that up. We have to slow down. It's responsible to slow down. So I would like to see us be less aggressive, not so hasty, and take it slower. And realize that there's just under 1,000 houses that are coming to Syracuse. They haven't even been built yet.
Taxes are going up because things cost more. That's the first thing. Second thing is, what else are you going to put in this location? I have that question. The density here is not terribly bad. These are single family type homes. There's amenities that are there. This is a needed development. I hear what everybody is saying, that the commercial needs to catch up with the residential. However, I think that there's an argument that can be made that we wouldn't have the commercial coming in that we are now had we not, and prior councils had not looked at the additional residential that's coming in. I think that that certainly is a factor. I know that Costco doesn't just look whether there's a freeway there or not. Costco is looking at number of households within a specific radius of where that operation is. So,
And they liked what they saw today. Today, they liked what they saw. They liked Syracuse the way it is. Not that it's going to stay that way.
2 years ago, we posed.
He
a
wasn't
question.
finished either.
how do you know that, number one? And I would
Well,
guess that Costco
funding.
would be very interested in having more people come to their
Right.
facilities to shop.
If I can answer.
Look, I don't think he was
the
finished.
question.
We all had to wait. Go ahead.
If I can answer the question you just posed.
Sure.
Costco, when Costco came to us, we specifically asked them about density, rooftops, and none of that came to the forefront. In fact, they said, we don't care about that at all. We care about traffic.
Well, I can't speak to that, but I can speak to,
weren't
if you
involved in
do
those meetings.
basic Google research, Costco does look at number of housetops that are in the area. To me, that's nonsensical to say that they don't care about the number of residents that are around it. Anyway, bottom line for me is, I think this is a good project. I think that it's a needed project. I think that it serves a population that does not have options there. I think this developer has bent over backwards to accommodate this council and prior councils and has done everything that needs to be done in order to have this approved, and then all of a sudden to pull the rug out from somebody because of timing issues doesn't make sense to me. This is something that is deserved, and I will vote for it.
Okay.
Did you want to comment?
So my concern is timing more than anything else. I get calls every day about the raising tax rates and how we have got more needs in the city because of more people, and we're growing faster than we can keep up. And there is only one, we cannot sustain being the highest growth rate every single year. It's put a huge burden on the city. And all of our taxpayers, residents who live here today, deserve some consideration.
I don't believe this is a tax issue. I'll make the motion and let Jordan, why don't you make the motion if we're going?
Do the thing.
All right, so I actually would like to move that we approve item, which one are we on? 2024-17, which is the application to rezone and preliminary plat subject to finalization of a development agreement that will reduce the total number of housing units from 121 to 117 and set the number of single-family lots at 21 and the attached villas at 96 to be reflected in the final plat application. Furthermore, the development agreement will require the addition of tables and chairs in the pavilion, as well as 8 additional visitor stalls in the development.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nay.
Nay.
Okay, that passes 3-2. Order. This is not a public display of emotion. Gone. Okay, I want to apologize to our citizens. I think that this is a disaster on your tax base, and I am sorry.
I think it's a great project that has nothing to do with taxes.
That has everything to do with taxes.
Buying more everything.
Yeah.
What it is. It's just-
Okay, item number 7. Proposed ordinance 2024-16, street trees.
Hi, Noah.
Sorry, I thought I was done. Street trees. No changes from last time we discussed this.
Discussion?
No, they did a good job.
I'm good with it as outlined.
Yep. I don't know.
Motion?
I'll go ahead and make a motion. I move that we propose or that we accept ordinance 2024-16, amending Syracuse City Code 10-30-070 pertaining to shade trees as outlined in the packet.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Proposed resolution R 24-27, amending the Syracuse City Planning Commission bylaws.
We did discuss some changes. They're included in the packet, the new wording, as we discussed.
Sorry.
Go ahead. Yeah, I'm struggling to remember exactly what that was, but it's in the
The only question I had is said failure to take action results in a table. Do we need to say
Thank you.
table of the motion? I mean, I didn't want to
Or of a motion?
of the, well, it's failure to take action on a specific item. Just says resulting in a table, and that could be taken a lot of ways depending on how literal you want to be. I don't know if we need to clarify that it's a
In the
tabling.
automatic tabling of a motion.
Yeah, just add of a motion, of the motion.
There's a lot of it right now.
I just didn't know if we need that clarification. If you say failure to take action results in a table is clear enough, then I'm good with it as is. But
proposal.
Yeah,
Okay.
a little extra words in here won't hurt on this one.
Words matter. So
They do. You are not wrong. They do.
they do. So I move we accept proposed resolution 24-27, amending the Syracuse City Planning Commission bylaws as outlined in the packet, with the addition of adding in the words tabling of the motion.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Item number 9, continued discussion of the fiscal year budget 2025, if needed. So does anyone have any continued comments? This will go to Truth and Taxation hearing next month. So we're not taking action tonight. But if anybody wanted to discuss it, it's on every agenda until then.
Before we start or happen to start one another heated topic, can we all take a breath? I realize that that topic is over and maybe
We talking about bylaws?
the one before,
Talking
yeah.
about the budget.
Oh, the budget.
I feel like we take emotion from one topic into another, and sometimes it's a very disservice on our part.
Does anybody have any thoughts on the budget?
I don't have any additional thoughts.
I've made all my comments in the previous meetings.
Done.
Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to the next one, which is public comment. If anybody here would like to make a public comment, you come forward, state your name and address, and again, it's limited to 3 minutes.
Okay, thank you, Council. Darren Isaac, 822 West, 3150 South, Syracuse, Utah. I know I can't ask questions here, but I'd like to make a few comments on behalf of the family I've been working on this project with for well over 2 years. We are still working on Smith's, and if I understand correctly, we can't reapply for a 12-acre reconfiguration of that land for at least a year, if I understand the rules correctly. So by losing that, are we telling Smith's and or Kent's or the other places I've worked with, from fast food to, like I said, 2+ years of trying to help this family sell this land for a good use that's the highest and best use? And my comment to the whole thing being commercial in my 25 years of doing commercial real estate, I think it'd be great too, because that's what I do. The reason we brought in the other higher density townhomes, single family homes, number one, the state, and I know Syracuse has done their share, and I think that's awesome, and that's what's going to drive that commercial. But to get to a 30-acre development it could be a long, long time, in other words. And so I know time's on the city side, but it's not on the family side. And so for us to go back to them and say, well, we got to come back with a different highest best use, because I know you got people from 70 to 85 years old that want to sell this land to good developers that would make a good use of it. I've got to go back and speak to them on it. So I'm going to try to understand this, and I'll get with staff and we'll try to come up with a different plan. But I know I can't reapply for that. And so to bring two developments together, two different landowners with the south one and the north one was tough. And so to start that over again is another challenge that we've got to figure out how to navigate. So for me to mitigate those issues and go back to Smith's and say, well, we don't quite understand why they couldn't do the 12 because they were afraid that we might apply for the townhomes, but yet for them to move forward, it would have to go that route. And I feel like we just turned down the first step in redesigning what could have been a 12-acre commercial project. So now as it sits, it's a single family home project, which if we could build single family homes for $350 and not be as expensive as the townhomes are, then that would be great. But that's just not feasible in today's world. And so my son would love to live there, even though it's by the highway, instead of Ogden or South Ogden, in places that he can't afford to build. And so I just want to convey, I appreciate the thought that went into it, and the meeting last time helped me. I would say that I was actually in favor of exactly what you guys did, but again, I'm the one just putting this together. The two people that are going to be actually building have their input in the other plan, but 12 acres is perfect for what it is today. And I believe that the one you just approved, some of you were for it, some of you weren't, they're going to need a place to go a little closer, be it whatever it is, if it's a fast food restaurant or whatever it might be. I drive past it every single day since the new highway opened up. I've been here 25 years. It would have been a great place for me to stop. Instead, I'll go 2 miles into Layton and go that way when I get gas, and we're losing those tax dollars.
Hey,
So,
sir, your time has expired.
okay. Thank you very much. Appreciate you.
Anyone else? Yeah, we'll close public comment. And it's time for council announcements. Brett, we'll start with you.
Nothing from me, thanks.
Okay, Julie?
Oh, I attended the summit on the summit on how to keep our kids safe from abuse, both mental abuse, physical abuse, drug abuse, suicide. And it was a really good summit. We learned a lot about how the cities can get involved. So yeah, I'll report on that another time.
Paul?
Nothing from me.
Jordan?
I want to give a huge shout out to staff for an amazing Heritage Days. Parade was awesome. The fair went great. The band was fantastic. Also the police, you guys kept a lid on things. There was a lot of stuff going on there. So kudos to everyone involved for a fantastic Heritage Days. It was great, and you guys never let us down. You guys are just incredible. So well done, and thank you.
Jen?
Okay, so buckle up, fam. Mine's a little long. Okay, get cozy.
This one doesn't come with it.
I know, but this is a list, and I got some kudos to give people. So this is going to be a happy note. I promise you guys won't be disappointed. So specifically on Heritage Days, Miss Cresta and Miss Leslie Draper, my goodness, I spent some time with them on Saturday before the fireworks, and the things that this group of people do is just amazing. And it was so hot. It has been so hot. That statement is relevant in everything I got for you guys. It has been so hot, and just to see the amount of work that people are doing in this heat in the Army, we call it a unblouse your boots kind of day, because the airflow, you got to have the airflow. It's just really hot. And your guys' entire team was really on it. And from the PD, Sergeant Ryan Carter, he was awesome. Anytime, like, there were some kids causing a little bit of a ruckus, and I just walked over there and I was like, well, let me go let them know. And I was like, Sergeant Carter, can you send the PD guys over? And what was it, like 5 of them rolled up? Like, they all just kind of boom. I'm like, well, he is on it today, boys and girls. And it was really great to see the coercion of everybody and the fire department on standby and all that. It was wonderful. On the museum note, the farmers market is going amazing. They are actually wanting a lot of people try to go to the museum during the farmers market. It's crazy. They pull on the door and they go to see if it's open. So Neldon was actually looking at talking to you guys. So surprise about seeing if the hours on just Thursday can shift back 1 hour so he could stay open for that hour of the first hour of the farmers market and hopefully get more people in there. And to date, so last year, the museum had 838 visitors for the entire year. And as of today, the museum has received 950 visitors to date. So for the year, and it's only halfway through. So that's a good thing. July 17th, next week, is Cops and Dogs, Hot Dogs in the Park with the PD. That's going to be awesome and also very hot. So I actually asked, yeah, this thank goodness for the splash pad. The chief finds his way into the fire department water. So it's wonderful. It's a great time. Everybody has fun. And I would dare say we are the only city around whose chief of police gets in the fire department water with the neighborhood kids. So kudos to you guys for that. So I actually asked the mayor to talk last because of my very long kudos session here. And this last compliment I have is for a company, and it was a company that the sewer district utilized. And after I give this compliment, I would like the mayor to reflect on how it was on their side of it. Now, Whitaker, I don't know if you guys, I brag about them before and after city council meetings, and I am doing this bragging right now because I feel like this company deserves it. We find ourselves in a very unique position that when people go above and beyond and they do a really good job, we have the ability to where we can brag about them. And this group of people, I feel like, genuinely deserves it. To be clear, this was not our project. It was the sewer district's project. And my association to this project was they used my farm under a land use agreement to utilize. I was not their first choice. Their land, the mayor laughs. He's like, we know. Their original contract fell through, and I very last minute, we really need some help. Like, oh, ask the cowgirl with all the extra space up the road if she might help you out, kind of thing. So I did not tell them I was on city council. I just came to Mr. Collin and asked if it was okay legally and all that good stuff. He said yes, gave me the approval. And so, because I like to surprise people with that sometimes, hey, guess what? And it catches them off guard. And the face they give is just priceless every time. So we retain that. The group that I worked with out there, and I actually have a list of names because I feel like it's necessary to give credit to not just the company, but the company is the people that do the work. And the history that I have with construction companies is there's been a lot of them that have used my place for under a land use agreement. None of those companies I would invite back. Not a single one. There's always a hiccup. There's always something. It becomes a hassle. I am pleasantly happy to say that I would invite this company back at any point because working with them was so incredibly amazing. I've never, and all the things I've done, never once worked with a willing and hardworking group of people. Now, keep in mind, these people work in our sewer systems, like in the pipes with feces in them in 100 and 110 degrees, and it's hot and it's excessive. And these people worked so hard. Like they were putting like 15 to 18-hour days. So I'm going to give these people a little bit of credit. I worked with, I think, the same people the mayor worked with, Mr. Matt Thornock and Cord Skeen. They were very easy to work with for me. And this is from my perspective on my side of this, not theirs. And the foreman that they had on that site, Mr. Gary Itzlawaka, he was incredible. He is probably one of the most easygoing yet productive foremen that I have met. This project had, if it could go wrong, it did go wrong. There was a lot of things that just kind of fell apart along the way. And him being in the middle of the top guys and the guys doing the job, he held it very, very well. Honestly, a lesser employee or a lesser man, they would have walked away from that project. The stress that this person was under. So good for him for sticking it out, and you make your company look good. And the rest of these people, Mr. Willis Tamaudi, Aaron Kibb, Willie Wilson, Rafael Mata, Emerson Nez, Jose Carrero, Melvin Martinez, their water truck driver, Alicia Alcantara, and their cleanup crew there at the very end, Mr. Dusty Stevens and Jacob King. All of those individuals make that company look exceptionally good. And I can honestly say that is the only construction company I've ever worked with that I would work with again. Now, I don't know from the sewer district's perspective, because it was a public project, I would like to hear it, and he is on their board. So that is my kudos for that. I do have one thing that I feel like is kind of a correction for the people that live in our city. We talk about infrastructure a lot. And if anybody has a chance to read the scholarly article that Too Big to Fail, America's Failing Infrastructure in the Way Forward. It's 2010 article. It's amazing. It's wonderful. It talks about basically how everything we built in the beginning is now crumbling. So not only do we have new development going in, but we also have the fixing of old development. And as citizens in the city, I think we need to be kind of understanding of that and show a little more grace of how that's happening. We know Public Works works very hard to make sure roads aren't closed, intertwined with each other, and citizens have a way to get around. And I don't think enough attention is put on that aspect of they're doing the best they can with what they've got. And I feel like we need to, as a community, show the people that are in the yellow and bright green on our roads, fixing our things, a little more grace in their job. They'll fix it before they're gone. Just give them a second. So that's that. Yes, but I would like your perspective on how that.
Whitaker has been one of the best contractors the sewer board has hired for other projects. This was not that.
This one was messy.
This one had some significant problems, but I don't attribute that to Whitaker. I attribute that to subcontractors. We had this discussion in sewer board, so it's all a matter of public record. But some of their subcontractors did not represent them very professionally.
So the only subcontractor that I would say was, I mean, I had a couple of very strong hard lines that I was not willing to negotiate on. And one of those was I did not want to hear a single engine brake the entire time they were there. K&K Construction or Transportation out of Riverdale. I was sitting in my car, looked up, and there's a fully loaded side dump sitting in front of me. I'm like, where did you come from? They were so respectful of that within our city, and kudos to them. But the rest of them, the subcontractors, I would agree with you wholeheartedly on that sentiment.
It's very rare that we have problems where backups and diversions fail. That happened in our city.
It did.
And that had to be corrected. And so anyway, moving on, I want to give a shout out to those working on Newsies from the Arts Council. That will open next Thursday and close the following Monday. Go see it if you have a chance and support that. Other than that, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.